Hey everybody, welcome back to the vlog. Thank you once again for joining me for tea time. Today we're chilling out with a little bit of misty morning, one of my favorites. So guys, Super Bowl's over. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun yesterday. It is Monday. Good Monday morning to each and every one of you. So today we're going to be talking about the D6 and just speculate a little bit on what's coming and what I think will come based on what Canon did with the 1DX Mark III. Now, you guys know that over the years, I've always said that Canon and Nikon are basically two legs on one body, right? One takes a step forward, and then the next one takes a step forward, and then the next one, and the next one, right? That's how the industry has been moving forward over the years. Slowly, but they have been moving forward. Now we have Sony in the mix that's really got them all kind of shaken up a little bit, because now we have that third leg that pretty soon might turn to the second leg. So it might end up being Canon and Sony, and then Nikon kind of pushing up in a third position, but not as of yet, right? Not as of yet. Do I see it coming? We'll see what happens with this D6, right, guys? So we want to talk about it a little bit and just get some of your ideas on what you think is going to come into this camera. What will it have, and what will it need to have to be able to compete with that beast, as I call it, the Canon 1DX Mark III. That's just absolutely amazing in my personal opinion. Now, I am a Canon shooter, but you know I'm unbiased with this stuff. I don't care. I'll call Canon out all the time with their neutering that they do, and just simply the way that they just cripple their cameras, okay? And they do it because they don't want to impede or encroach on like their C series, right? That they make a lot of money with. So anyways, this D6, let's just look at some specs that the 1DX Mark III has and just look at what we think that the D6 needs to have. Once again, two legs, one body. All right, so moving forward, number one, let's just start out with price. If Canon comes out there at $500 more at that $6,499 price, I guarantee you the D6 is going to be $6,499. That's just what they do. I just can't see them doing $5,999. I just don't think they'll do it. Canon went up, Nikon's going to go up also. Now, why do I think this? Just like I said, one body, two legs. That's just how it works. Remember, guys, these cameras, these flagship cameras that are coming out, obviously Canon already has their 1DX out, but the D6, which is its competitor, all right, are basically cameras that will be used for the up-and-coming Japan, Tokyo 2020 Olympics, all right? What cameras do you think that will be out there? Are you going to see a lot of? Are you going to see the Sony A9 Mark II? Are you going to see this D6? Or are you going to see the Canon 1DX Mark III? I think you might see a sprinkling of all, but we'll get to that at the end of this video. Now, as far as the sensor size, Canon has a 20 megapixel sensor. I've been hearing rumors that Nikon's going to go with a 24 megapixel sensor. Nothing solid yet, but they at least have to have a 20 megapixel sensor, just like Canon did. Also, Canon came out with the new Digix X, Digix 10, whatever, chip in it. I'm going to guarantee you that Nikon does the exact same thing. Why? Because I think they're going to be throwing in a lot of mirrorless technology from their Z series into this flagship camera, just like Canon did. Canon did that with their eye tracking, right? Their eye tracking AF in live view mode, which was like, wow, no DSLR is doing that, right? So they did it. I think Nikon's going to do the same. Also, as far as video goes, we know Canon was crushing it now with 8-bit, 10-bit, and 12-bit recording. They are able to do this downsampling, oversampling, however you want to talk about it. It's 5.5K is what they're bringing in, and they're giving you 4K video, but that video is all the way up to 60 frames per second, and it's 422, not 420, it's 422, and it's Canon log. Really amazing, amazing video with that camera. Also, if you need to shoot slow-mo, you have it, of course, in 1080 at 120 frames per second or whatnot. So they have it when it comes to video, and it just makes sense that Nikon is going to have to do the exact same thing. Also, a basic unlimited buffer all right? Canon is doing it. I think that Nikon will do the same. How do they do it? Well, Canon has introduced the CFExpress cards into their camera, this slot. So you're able to use extremely fast cards in the camera, but they are also extremely expensive. If you want like a 256 gig card, you're probably looking at about $400 or more. They're expensive. So I'm going to say that the D6 is going to do the same. All right, we're going to see those fast cards in there. That's the only way they're going to be able to get that continuous autofocus, continuous drive, continuous shooting, and be able to write it fast enough to have that unlimited buffer. Now, talking about the speed of the camera. Now, the mechanical shutter on that 1D is able to shoot at 16 frames per second, all the way up to 20 frames per second if you go to electronic. Now, on the Sony side, they're able to do 10 frames per second mechanical or 20 frames per second electronic. And so there is a disparity there between the two. So I'm going to say that Nikon's going to probably be right around there too. Maybe around 14 frames per second, not 16. Why do I say that? Because the speculation that's out there, the rumors that are out there, says that this sensor is going to be 24 megapixels. If it is, instead of 20, it's going to be a lot more data. So they probably won't be able to go as quick, but we'll see. Hopefully they can. They need at least 14 frames per second continuous shooting with an unlimited buffer, especially when it comes to Olympics. Okay, that's what these sports shooters want. That's what they need. They're going to require it. Okay, that's just simply it. Also, what I see is this deep learning that's going on the Canon side. Okay, back to the idea of the eye continuous tracking deal that they have in live view mode on the Canon. Once again, these are multiple features that are being brought in from their mirrorless technology, their mirrorless cameras. So these DSLRs, these flagship DSLRs you're paying $6,500 are literally like crossbreeds. They're hybrids of a DSLR and a mirrorless combined. The best features. All right, I've told you guys about it. I really do think that we're going to go down this hybrid side to move people into that mirrorless space, but I've said it so many times I don't want to reiterate myself over and over. Now, if you want to do, for example, some type of eye tracking instead of in people but in animals, like maybe dogs, let's say you're shooting Westminster Kennel Club's dog show, well, then you're going to have to go with a Sony, because the Sony is the only one that has animal eye tracking. Maybe Nikon can bring that in also. I don't know. I don't know if they care enough, but it's a possibility, right? Because Canon doesn't have it. They do not track the eyes of animals, right? Now, the other thing that they could bring into it that Canon didn't was Ibis, in-body image stabilization. Canon does not have it. Maybe Nikon D6 can bring that in. A lot of people have just been wanting that in-body image stabilization. They just think it's the next best thing since sliced bread. Okay, so maybe they can do that to set themselves apart. Like I said, one body, two legs stepping forward. Okay, Nikon, since they're coming in last here as far as introducing that camera for the Olympics, for the 2020 Olympics in Japan, they kind of have an advantage because they can release something based on the specs of their competition and kind of one-up them a little bit. Will they do it? I really don't know. But I think Nikon really does need to. All right, they really do, because they're not doing so well. All right, they're doing okay, but they're not doing so well. And I think this would help them out a lot if their flagship would have something better, something that one-upped both Sony and Canon. They need to retain that second space, that second slot to Canon. If they drop to third and Sony moves and bumps them out, I think it's going to be very hard for Nikon. I really do. So I want to know what you think. What is going to happen with Nikon and their D6? We do have, like I said, that Olympics that are going to happen. The Olympic Games are going to be running from July 24th, I believe, to like August 9th or something. If that is the case, July being that time, the photographers are going to want at least a month with this camera. So I think March, April, maybe even the beginning of June. I think that's going to be too late. So I think within the next 2 months, we're going to see that Nikon D6, and we'll be able to talk about it a little bit more in depth or in detail. Once again, there's not a lot of specs out there or rumors, all right? But I'm using the Canon 1Dx Mark III as a baseline of what that D6 is going to have in it, that almost has to have in it, and then other stuff that I think will be in there, like that mirrorless technology from their Z series. I really do think that will happen, just like the 1Dx Mark III has from their R series. Moved in some of those goodies, making that hybrid $6,500 flagship. So guys, what do you think? I want to know. Do you think Nikon is going to be able to pull this out and create that camera that's going to be equal or better to Canon? And how do you think it will compare to Sony? Sony's camera, their A9 Mark II, has been out for a while. Are they going to introduce anything before Japan 2020? Or are they going to leave that camera and just maybe do some software updates to make it even better than what it is? Its tracking is unbelievable. Sony has really done something absolutely great. The problem with it is that 10 frames per second, a lot of people just like 16 frames per second when it comes to mechanical shutter, all right? That is a lot. These sports shooters just want it, okay? They just want it. So of course you can shoot electronic at 20 with any of these cameras, all right? So anyways, like I said, what do you think? Nikon D6, where do you think it's going to sit in the mix when it comes to Tokyo 2020? So that's it for me today. Just give you a little food for thought. Let's have that discussion in the comment area below. And if you enjoy my content, as always, throw me a big thumbs up. That will help me out as well as the channel. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you can get all my content when it becomes available, and click the bell icon so when it is available, you will be notified of it. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools that I've invented for you and me over the years, and hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me. That would be awesome. So when we're done discussing down here, go to community.jcristina.com. Once again, community.jcristina.com. Get involved in our creative Discord. It's free. Get in there. Start talking with these hundreds and hundreds of photographers that we have worldwide that participate in here. I'm in there all the time. Come talk to me. Let's hang out. Also, download my ebook over at jcristina.com/ebook. jcristina.com/ebook. It's free. Great 10 tips for making sharper images. It's really good. Great for amateurs as well as pros. There's something in there for everyone. And finally, you made it to the end of this video. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to give you 20% off anything that you pick up over at jcristina.com. All right, use coupon code or promo code YT20 at checkout. Once again, YT20 at checkout. Anything you want, throw it in your shopping cart. You're going to get 20% off absolutely everything just for being here. So that's it, guys. I'm out of here for yet another vlog. Thank you so much for being here. Many blessings to each and every one of you. Take care, guys.